beginning, since the sky opened and people were created, there have been struggles among all humans. The history of humanity is one of struggle for survival. There have been many wars, and people have devised many methods to win battles. The methods have evolved in numerous ways, according to the cultural traditions and historical backgrounds of each nation. Among these is a unique martial art with a technique and spiritual grounding very different from anything in the Western tradition. It is Korea's own martial art. Koreans have their very own martial art. We call it Taekwondo.
It's most beautiful.
It's a wonderful gift for any parent to give their child.
It's a great sport.
The best for me.
Very popular.
Taekwondo is the national sport of Korea. It is a highly popular sport and a very rigorous martial art. Where did it come from? The ancient Chinese referred to the Koreans, who were courageous and good at horsemanship, as the great bowmen of the East. The Koreans were a dominant force competing against the Chinese for control of ancient East Asia. Ancient Chinese described the Koreans as follows. Koreans are strong, courageous, and merciful. Koreans carry 10-meter-long spears, so several people have to lift them together. They make magnificent infantry. The bow was about 1.3 meters long and very powerful. The bowmen are very skilled so that they can hit an enemy warrior in the eye from a long distance. When the ancient Joseon kingdom fell, Koreans moved to Manchuria and then to the Korean peninsula from Central Asia. When Goguryeo was strong, Xi'an was the place where the capital was located. Goguryeo built the strongest nation in Northeast Asia at that time. The people of Goguryeo left their spirit and cultural heritage in these ancient tombs. Their martial traditions can be found in many wall paintings inside these old tombs. The paintings of bare fist fighting is the first evidence pointing to the origin of today's Taekwondo. Goguryeo had a unique warrior system called sambe, in addition to the regular army. The people of Goguryeo held a national competition for swordplay, archery, hunting, and haekyeon in March and October every year. Those who won the contests were recruited for sambe. Goguryeo grew to become the dominant force in Northeast Asia, winning against Shu and Tang of China. Shilla Kingdom accomplished the great task of uniting the three kingdoms on the Korean peninsula. The way of Hwarang, the youthful warrior group, made it possible. According to the record of military arts published in the Joseon period, the art of native swordsmanship originated from Hwangchang, a Shilla Hwarang. Thus, the tradition of Hwarang's military arts is believed to have been passed down through native swordsmanship. The people of Shilla adapted Buddhism as their basic ideology. The patriotic nature of Shilla Buddhism was the result of union between the tradition of military arts and Buddhism. As one might expect, the military arts of the warrior using bare hands were often depicted in Buddhist artistry. The most famous example is the grand Inwang image at the entrance of Sokuram Grotto. The pose of the Inwang image, which shows the symbolic posture of Shilla's bare-handed fighting, is represented in today's Kumgang posture. The martial arts of Koguryo, Paekje, and Shilla greatly affected neighboring countries. Paekje's Saurabi became the origin of Japanese samurai, and Koguryo's Sirim became Japanese sumo. The record of bare-handed fighting is first found in the history of Koryo, under the name of Subak. Obyong Subaku was a group competition that could be used in actual combat situations, and people could gain a chance to climb up the social ladder through it. However, Subak, which mainly used hands, was practiced primarily by the ruling class, whereas common people enjoyed Taekyon. To those commoners who could not possess any arms, Taekyon, which used powerful kicks, was more practical and effective than using just bare hands. Koryo warrior Lee Seung-gae founded the Joseon dynasty, so the tradition of Koryo's martial arts passed down to Joseon times. Subak was considered important, so skill in it was a deciding factor in selecting soldiers. The government often selected those who were proficient at Subak. The common record of martial arts written during King Cheongjo's reign used 225 Korean, Chinese, and Japanese books as references to summarize and develop the martial arts of the East one step further. The common record of martial arts lists 24 kinds of martial arts that include spearmanship, swordsmanship, martial arts using bare hands, and martial arts on horseback. Korea, China, and Japan all exchange characteristics of their own martial arts with each other. According to Wu Biji, Ming's book on martial arts, there is a record that the swordsmanship which was not passed down in China was sought in Joseon and was called the Joseon swordsmanship. Yedo, the swordsmanship found in the common record of martial arts, is the Joseon swordsmanship which was recorded in Wu Biji. Chosun created improved martial arts combining the best characteristics from China's martial arts and Korea's. However, the martial arts recorded in the Common Record of Martial Arts differ from today's Taekwondo in that they mainly used hands. The tradition of Taekwondo has been passed down through Subak, which mainly uses hands, and Taekyon, which mainly uses feet. The Haedong Jukji Chronicle, which was published in 1920, describes Taekyon as follows. In the old custom called kaksur, people kick and try to knock each other down. Those who are not good at Taekyon kick the opponent's legs. Those who are good at Taekyon kick the opponent's shoulder. And those who have superb skills kick the opponent's top knot. The splendid footwork of Taekwondo, its effective and practical nature, and its characteristic as a sport that the audience can enjoy, all originate from the fact that Taekwondo is the traditional martial art of this nation. When Chosun was occupied by Japan, Korea's martial arts faced a dark age. Japan forced Korea to venerate its Shinto temples and took away Korea's language to erase Korean spirit. It oppressed those who were training in traditional martial arts and imposed Japanese martial arts such as Kendo and Judo. Korea's traditional martial arts entered a new era when the nation was liberated in 1945. Under the Japanese occupation, Korea's traditional martial arts were in danger of losing their traditions. Since karate was forced on them, some training methods from karate were introduced. That is why the bare-handed fighting was called tangsu or kungsu, which is the Korean way of saying karate. Training was introduced that dealt mainly with hands rather than feet. However, the effort to restore the traditional martial arts continued. Song Deok-gi and Shin Han-sung, who had maintained the tradition of Taekyon, did their part to restore the traditional martial arts. Through this process, the foundation of modern Taekwondo was prepared. From then on, Taekwondo paved its way for globalization. Taekwondo's efforts paid off when it was adopted as a regular event at the 1986 Asian Games in Seoul.
우리나라 이제 태권도 종주국이라고 그러면서도 아무것도 없었죠. 그걸 이제 역사를 만들고 찾고 전통을 만들고 룰을 이제 통일된 룰을 개발을 하고 국기원을 짓고 그걸 바탕으로 해서 세계 선수권대회를 서울에서 개최를 하고 그때마다 한 19개국밖에 안 왔죠. 그리고 세계연맹을 창설을 했는데 그때는 이 태권도가 스포츠화가 잘 안 돼 있고 관이 한 30개 있어서 이제 도장 위주로 이제 군웅할 것이 되니까 그걸 전부 통합을 해서 국기화하고 다시 세계화하고 그거를 이제 세계에 내놓아서 이 보통을 전부 하나하나 쌓아 올렸거든요.
As Taekwondo became more of an organized sport, it adopted the tradition of Taekyon, thereby helping it spread. Along with the increase in the number of its participants, Taekwondo continued to develop technically as well. The axe kick and spinning whip kick are new footwork that one could not see in the past, and, by using them, Taekwondo tries to recreate the glory of the traditional martial arts. Taekwondo, which was developed from the traditional Korean martial arts, became a regular event not only at the Asian Games but in the Olympics as well, overshadowing other martial arts such as wushu or karate. Is Taekwondo a sport or a martial art? What is the principle behind Taekwondo? Let's observe Apchirugi, which is the basic movement of Taekwondo. In Apchirugi, the fist travels straight while it rotates momentarily. This is much as rifling in the barrel of a gun makes a bullet spin, thereby increasing the power of destruction. In the defense movement, the rotating motion parallels the straight motion. One stops the attack of the opponent by rotating his or her waist. At this time, the wrist rotates momentarily. The rotation produces centrifugal force that effectively dissipates and neutralizes the opponent's offensive potential. Muhammad Ali was a famous boxer. He drew people's attention when he learned Taekwondo in 1976 before his match against Antonio Inoki. What led him to learn Taekwondo?
Two good karate teachers are getting me ready for the wrestling. Are you going to use that right hand? Mr. Jun Ree is his name. He's training me now for the Japanese wrestler. Yes, that wasn't the right hand. That was the unique acupunch. When you hit a man, as soon as you hit him, you turn it. It's a quick. Some of this done, but this is a little different. This is a little different. That is called the anchor punch. And this is called the unique acupunch.
The kick of Bruce Lee contributed decisively to his becoming a globally known action star. People think that Bruce Lee learned his kick from Kung Fu, but he learned it from Taekwondo.
그 사람 뭐 발기질하는 걸 몰랐거든요. 그때는 주먹 손 수기는 있었지만 조끼가 우리 태권도는 못했기 때문에 내가 그때 팔척 위를 뛰어가지고 이게 송판 석장을 깨는 걸 보고 그 사람도 처음 본 거예요, 그런 거를. 그래서 굉장히 나하고 참 친해졌어요, 그 후로. 그래가지고 그때 제가 그 사람한테 그 수기를 좀 많이 배웠고 그 사람은 나한테 조끼를 배웠고 그래서 그 사람이 이제 역시 유명해진 것은 이 태권도 조끼를 가지고 유명해지지 않았어요.
The special characteristic is in its various and splendid kicks that one cannot find in other martial arts. Taekwondo's quick and strong kicking skills originate from its science and dynamics. An easily observable characteristic in Taekwondo's kick is that one must fold his or her knee before kicking. This gives an excellent benefit in real combat. Before a person unfolds his or her knee prior to kicking, the opponent cannot know what to expect. Chinese wushu does not use the joint, but it kicks with the knee straight. The science of kicking found in Taekwondo is unique and cannot be found in other martial arts. Taekwondo's use of the joints in kicking makes it possible for one to use powerful kicks that carry one's weight, and also makes it easier to move one's center of weight so that faster successive kicking is possible. Like the principle of a flail, attacking the opponent by folding and unfolding one's legs makes the person capable of using more powerful kicks. Taekwondo does not usually separate defense and offense. the defense and offense often happen at the same time, as in the counter kick. The offensive nature, combined with the importance of kicking in Taekwondo, comes from the tradition of Korean martial arts. What kind of effects can one expect from Taekwondo? The majority of Taekwondo practitioners are children in Korea. First of all, let us hear the reasons for them to begin Taekwondo.
제가 태권도 하기 전에는요, 소심하고 좀 조용한 편이었는데요. 체육 시간에 잘 하지도 않고 애들한테 따돌림을 너무 많이 받는 것 같아가지고 먼 거리를 걸 때요, 다리가 아파서요, 잘 넘어졌거든요. 살이 너무 많이 쪄가지고 고민을 많이 했는데
Taekwondo trains the muscles and joints of the whole body. What are some of the bodily changes that appear in a child who does Taekwondo?
지금은 다리가 튼튼해가지고 잘 넘어지지 않아요. 한 달에 1kg 이상은 쪘는데요. 지금 1년에 3, 4kg씩밖에 몸이 좀 튼튼해졌다 그러고요. 체육 시간에요. 아주 잘한다고. 시험 공부할 때도요. 필요하지가 않고요.
Taekwondo, which has advanced kicking techniques, promotes special physical skills that one cannot gain through other martial arts or sports. And the effect is greater in children than in adults.
그런 시기에는 무엇보다 중요한 체력들이 운동질리 체력들입니다. 운동질리 체력은 기본적으로 심폐지구력, 유연성, 뭐 여러 가지 요인이 많이 있겠습니다만 특히 운동질리와 관련된 체력이 스피드, 조정력, 민첩성 이런 것들이 어린이들한테 매우 중요하다고 할 수가 있어요. 근데 태권도 운동이라는 자체가 근육 수축을 매우 요구할 뿐만 아니라 또 한 발로 다른 한 발로 자기 몸을 지탱하는 그런 기술이 많이 요구되기 때문에 조정력이 굉장히 향상이 될 수가 있습니다. 특히 어린 시기에는 활동량이 많다 보니까 운동 상해뿐만 아니라 일반 상해도 굉장히 많이 발생돼요. 이 상해와 관련된 체력이 조정력입니다. 특히 어린애들이 태권도 운동을 많이 할 경우는 이런 조정력이 굉장히 많이 향상이 돼가지고 자기 몸을 자기 신체 중심의 어떤 위험으로부터 보호할 수 있는 능력이 매우 늘어난다는 얘기죠. 또 태권도 운동 자체가 빠른 스피드를 요구하는 운동이기 때문에 민첩성이나 순발력에서 굉장히 늘어날 수밖에 없습니다.
Taekwondo improves balance, control, quickness, and speed that are needed by children. So then, what are some effects that an adult can expect through Taekwondo?
태권도 운동 그 자체가 하지, 즉 하체 운동을 많이 요구하는 운동이기 때문에 여기에 관련된 각 근력, 다시 말해서 다리의 근력이 매우 증가하는 데 효과가 있다고 할 수가 있다는 얘기죠. 또 하나는 조금 아까 유연성이라고 말씀을 드렸는데 관절을 중심으로 이루어지는 운동이 바로 태권도 운동이기 때문에 특히 하지의 유연성 발달시키는 데 크게 관여한다고 할 수가 있습니다. 특히 하지의 움직임은 우리가 얘기하는 이 몸 동체죠. 이 동체 허리에 대한 유연성도 매우 요구되기 때문에 무엇보다 중요한 그 동체에 대한 유연성, 하지 말해서 우리는 이걸 대근력과 관련된다고 할 수가 있습니다. 이 동체의 유연성이 매우 크게 발달할 수 있다고 할 수가 있습니다. 또 마지막으로 체지방량입니다. 아까 말씀드린 지방량이죠. 태권도 운동 자체가 시간적인 관계를 두고 계속 운동을 실시하게 되면 이때의 운동은 유산소성 운동이 됩니다. 쉽게 말씀드려서 산소를 충분히 들여 마시면서 운동할 때 필요한 에너지를 충분히 공급을 하니까 이때 소요되는 에너지원이 지방입니다. 이 지방이 많이 산화되다 보면 결국은 체지방량이 감소가 된다는 얘기입니다. 다시 말해서 전체 체중에서 차지하는 비율 중에서 지방이 차지하는 비율이 감소되다 보니까 결국은 체중이 감소 효과가 나타나죠.
Taekwondo is a martial art as well as a sport. The goal of Taekwondo is to build one's character rather than to win in competition. Taekwondo is the human science that trains mind as well as body.
태권도를 하고 나니까요. 활발해지고요. 친구들하고 같이 잘 어울려서 엄마가 그러시는데요. 인사성이 밝아졌다고 그러시고요. 정신적으로요, 되게 강해졌고요. 학교에서도 공부할 때도 집중이 잘 되고.
The effect of training in Taekwondo appears greater in the mental aspect than in the physical aspect.
오히려 더 성적이 올랐어요. 저는 이렇게 평가는 많이 안 하지만 한 번씩 이렇게 하는 거 보면은 많이 올랐더라고요. 그리고 할 때 정신 자세가 벌써 틀리더라고요.
자기 보는 일은 스스로 알아서 하면서 그 효과도 많고 성적도 굉장히 좋아요. 자기 자신이 굉장히 자신감을 갖고 재밌어하고요. 즐거워하고 발표력이 좋다고 봐야죠. 그리고 협동력도 참 좋다고 그러더라고요.
Realizing one's potential through Taekwondo training makes the pupil confident, and it directly or indirectly affects the pupil's improvement in expressing views.
상당히 성격이 밝아졌고요. 아이들을 리더하는 그런 리더십이 굉장히 강해졌어요.
한마디로 말해서 좀 씩씩해졌다는 거죠. 아, 의젓하다. 나이에 비해서 너무너무 의젓하구나 하는 그런 걸 많이 느끼고 있어요.
The psychological benefits of Taekwondo training are even recognized abroad. The popularity of Taekwondo in building the character of a child is gaining momentum among American parents. There are What is the status of Taekwondo around the world? America is the first place where Taekwondo was exported and has the highest number of Taekwondo practitioners abroad. So, what do Americans think of Taekwondo? The place where the Korean national anthem and the Korean national flag are taught in the United States is a Taekwondo gym. Many Americans learn about Korea through Taekwondo and pay respect to the country where Taekwondo originated.
In Taekwondo, we learn that humankind is one family. We respect each other. We have a tradition of morality. And our Taekwondo is not just a physical exercise, not just a mental exercise, it's a spiritual exercise. From essay,
Many Taekwondo masters who went abroad to spread the martial arts greatly contributed to popularizing Korea and its culture throughout the world. Master Pak Young-hwan is one of them. He includes the understanding of Korea in deciding the pupil's promotion to higher levels of the art.
Yi and explain about kimchi.
What is kimchi? It is an undisputed symbol of Korean cuisine. Kimchi refers to any side dish that has been pickled and brined with garlic and chili.
There were three kingdoms back in ancient Korea. Korea up in the mountains, you had Silla down in the southeastern plain, and you had Bache, which is in the southwestern plain. Korea was where it actually developed, but the king of Silla...
At a time when many Americans fear that today's youth are losing their values through a lack of discipline, Taekwondo is emerging as an option which carries Korean values and spirit that might be able to help cure some of America's social ills.
Well, it's given me a lot more confidence and built up my self-esteem, and I find when I practice it regularly, I'm a lot happier and I enjoy life a lot more because I'm working out and I know that I'm gaining confidence and I'm able to defend myself.
And I really bless and I really feel that it's done because of the fact of Taekwondo. It's even though it's an Asian art, and my son's not Asian, I think that it's one of the nicest things in the world that can be given to a child, no matter where they're from, because it teaches good values and respect, and that's why my son respects his fellow classmates, his mother and father, especially Grandmaster Park, and I think that he's a great young man. I think Taekwondo has a lot to do with it.
For those reasons, many American colleges have introduced Taekwondo as a regular subject, while it is often practiced in the physical education classes of elementary, intermediate, and high schools. Here is the physical education session at Eastwood School in a suburb near New York. The pupils learn to be loyal to the country and to respect their parents and elders here.
Back up, Maki! Back up, Maki! 11 commandments of
The spiritual world, which was once sought by Sheila's Parang, has crossed over the Pacific Ocean and passed down to the American children.
Humility! Perseverance! Self-control! Honesty, sir!
Honesty, sir! Thank you, sir!
Many of them learn about discipline, self-discipline, and discipline of a group. I think they also learn a lot about physical training, and they also learn a lot about respect. We think respect for everyone is important in this school, and that reinforces those feelings that we have during Taekwondo class.
How has been the responses of the parents and the kids?
Very popular. Kids love it, and they stick with it for the number of years that they can. They can't really do it past 4th grade here, but I know that some continue to pursue it outside of school afterwards. It's a very popular class.
New York holds a Governor's Cup competition, and many leaders train themselves with Taekwondo. Thus, America's interest in the martial arts is growing each day. Over 70% of martial arts gyms are Taekwondo gyms, and the number of Taekwondo students increased to 6.3 million in 1997 from 1.6 million in 1990.
He has a lot of self-discipline, and he's very confident, not only in Taekwondo, but in the way he handles himself during normal activities, at work, at school, at home, whatever. He's very confident in his life, and Taekwondo has a lot to do with that. The discipline is tremendous, and a lot of people have picked up on it.
It gives me better spirit and achieves a lot of goals I've been looking for in fitness and in health in my mind. And Master Umbach Lee has taught us the skills along with the spirit of Taekwondo, and I think it's a great sport.
The land of Spain connects the Mediterranean and the Atlantic Ocean and includes all the cultural characteristics found in Europe, Africa, the Mediterranean, and the Atlantic regions. It is the country of passion. Spain is the nation where Taekwondo was first introduced in Europe. The passionate character of Spain matches well with the dynamic quality of Taekwondo. It is not too hard to find Taekwondo in Spain. There are 250,000 pupils of Taekwondo here. When the number of pupils being trained in schools is counted, there are over 500,000 Taekwondo students, thereby making Spain the strongest Taekwondo nation in Europe. Those who study Taekwondo range from small children all the way up to the Spanish king, Juan Carlos. Ciudad Real is located 200 kilometers from Madrid, the Spanish capital. Taekwondo was indeed there. Kim Young-gi is the master of this gym. He is the technical executive advisor to the Spanish Taekwondo Association and was awarded a commendation from King Juan Carlos of Spain. Half of Korea's Taekwondo population are children, whereas most Spanish Taekwondo pupils are adults.
Gente joven, chavales que de alguna manera andaban mal encaminados, relacionados con el alcohol, con las drogas, y que cuando se han relacionado, han comenzado a tener algún vínculo con el taekwondo, desde luego han ido dejándolo poco a poco, se han rehabilitado y afortunadamente pues han sido personas recuperadas para esta sociedad y creo que deben de agradecerlo al taekwondo.
¡Señor! ¡Subi! ¡Chun-chun-sogi monton dirigi!
The popularity of Taekwondo in Spain is about to overtake its popularity in Korea. Spanish people think of Korea as the nation of Taekwondo, and the two countries are improving their relationship through the martial art.
Empecé porque me gustaba mucho el deporte, ¿no? Pero luego me di cuenta que el taekwondo es algo más que un deporte. Solamente no trata de desarrollar simplemente el aspecto físico, sino que es un desarrollo completo, integral de la persona, y por eso iban más conmigo. Aparte porque me gustaba mucho que necesitaba mucha energía, no solo física, sino también mental. Entonces yo pensaba que a mí me sobraba en otros deportes y por eso me gustaba el taekwondo.
Libya is a North African socialist state on the Mediterranean Sea, which had kept closer ties with North Korea until a South Korean company participated in the Great Waterway Project in the 1980s. Taekwondo was there too. Darian Physical Education School is the place where Libyan Taekwondo began. The enthusiasm for Taekwondo is as fierce as the heat of the desert. Taekwondo was introduced to Libya in 1969. Korean commands by the Arab instructor echo in the land of the desert. It is where Master Kim Young-gwang, who made Taekwondo popular in Libya, dropped his sweat. Kim Young-gwang represents Libya's Taekwondo. He trained Libyan secret agents, policemen, and national athletes. As his efforts helped develop Libyan Taekwondo, the spread of Taekwondo throughout the world owes a lot to these Korean Taekwondo martial artists who went through much hardship, from African villages in the hot desert to the icy reaches of Siberia. anniversary of the Green Revolution is the biggest celebration day in Libya. Libya is the country of President Gaddafi. Taekwondo was present at the celebration of the revolution. Taekwondo broke open ideologies and politics and overcame racial difference. Over 50 million people throughout 128 nations who train themselves with Taekwondo will remember Korea.
아시아에서 만장일치로 태권도가 이제 들어갔는데 태권도가 들어간다는 건 이제 우리나라 올림픽에서 우리나라가 메달도 많이 이제 더 딸 수 있는 그런 길도 열렸지만 또 우리 문화와 세계 문화 속에 심어지는 그런 쾌거였었는데 역사적인 일이죠. 그런데 과거에 다른 스포츠가 한 100년에 이루어놓은 것을 태권도는 한 20여 년에 이루었다고도 그러고 도장에서 하는 태권도는 이제 역시 무도로서의 정신과 전통을 유지하는 전교육을 하는 이제 태권도고 또 이제 경기에 나가서는 이제 스포츠로서 이제 태권도니까 그 두 가지를 좀 같이 가고 있죠. 앞으로 이제 태권도를 더 세계화해가지고 더 많은 세계가 받아줘야 되니까 그렇게 해서 이제 더 태권도가 이제 세계 속에서 자리를 잡을 수 있게 이렇게 노력을 해야 할 겁니다.
Taekwondo has gone beyond being merely a Korean martial art. Now it is a worldwide sport. As the 21st century approaches, Taekwondo continues to advance, and it will extend efforts to promote the Korean spirit as the messenger of Korean culture to the world, and as the spirit which all the people in the world will seek after.